Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Busy Bee. Welcome back to my channel. I've got a little bit of that royalty for you today. It is Friday the 15th of October. We're all the way through the week, halfway through the month. Uh-oh, that means rent's due again in 15 days. I guess I better get busy. Just playing. Anyway, I'm on my lunch break right now and I saw something totally outrageous about the Harkles. I knew that you would all want to hear it, and I knew that I wanted to share it with you all as quickly as I could. So as soon as I clocked out for lunch, I got on here and I got my stuff together. So let's dive right in. I don't want to waste any time because I still want to eat my lunch when I'm done. I am a chubby boy, remember? Okay, this is all about the Harkles being hypocrites. And if you've been following the Harkles for the last, they got married in 2018, three and a half years, 4 years, we already know that they're hypocrites, but this is just another piece of the cake to show that, yes, they really are. It's not just something that people don't like them or making up and saying. It's proof, actual proof. Ethical? Do you think that Harry and Meghan actually check to see if anything is ethical? Because they're backing a, quote, ethical investment group that has put tens of millions into chemical and oil companies. Ooh, that sounds great. Like a perfect investment for eco-warriors such as Harry and Meghan. And you remember about 2 weeks ago, I made a video about how they went to New York, and I said in the video, I don't know if they flew there on a private jet or not, but I would do some more research. I forgot to mention to you, I did do that research, and I found out they flew from LA to New York and back in a private jet. So they are the biggest hypocrites in the world, flying private jets and preaching at us about what we're supposed to do about the environment. Please, give me a break. They've invested in a New York-based company called Ethic, which unveiled the Sussex as partners, and they have put the company Ethic has put tens of millions into chemical, pharma, and oil companies, along with pouring cash into rich investment banks. Well, that sounds like something perfect for the Harkles to get involved with, right? The rich investment banks, weren't they the ones like Goldman Sachs who were going to fund Harry's lavish speech tours after he quit the royal family, but that all went to bunk when the pandemic hit. And then these pharma companies who were getting rich off people in Midwest America passing away every day, the numbers going up from all these dangerous things that the pharma companies are putting out there. I don't even want to say. I think it's ridiculous. And the oil companies, what they're doing, overcharging for their gas. I mean, partnering up and going to bed with people like this sounds so typical of the Harkles. It's sickening. It's disgusting. So paperwork filed in the U.S. shows it invested around 1.1 million pounds in chemical firm Corteva Inc. Now get this. Corteva was made infamous in the 2019 movie Dark Waters. They are being sued in California over use of a pesticide that is linked to brain damage in kids. Corteva insists that the thing is safe, though. Nothing wrong with it, doesn't hurt anyone. Isn't this great? These are the people that the Harkles are investing their money with. The UK taxpayers' money that Daddy Charles and grandmother's giving them, that you guys in the UK are funding. They're investing that in a company that deals with Corteva, that causes pesticide brain damage in children. Do Harry and Meghan even give a crap about what they're doing or what they're investing their money in? Do they do any research at all? I'm sure if I can find this kind of stuff out, anybody with a Google machine can figure this out. What are they thinking? I mean, don't they realize how badly this can come back to bite them once the word gets out that they've invested money in a company that's linked to brain damage in children, that's being sued in California? Let's carry on. Ethic has also invested in one of America's largest crude oil producers and a firm accused of pricing UK patients out of cystic fibrosis drugs, filings show. Okay, so Ethic, that Harry and Meghan are investing in, are also the people investing with them, they're taking their money and investing it in crude oil companies that are overcharging people for the gas that they put in their cars, which is absolutely ridiculous, making people rich who shouldn't be rich, and just to fund terrible things that go on all around the world, and I'm not going to say it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Okay, and they're in bed with these pharma companies that are keeping cystic fibrosis drugs away from people who need them, charging them too much for them. It's a little bit ridiculous. So, life is going to be very difficult for Meghan and Harry if they keep up this high profile. Ethical banking, there's nothing ethical about this, but ethical banking seems asking for trouble, setting themselves up for a fall, a royal expert said. And I totally agree with that. Once word gets out what they're investing in and what this company Ethic invests its money in, do you really think that's going to hold up to very much scrutiny? I don't think so. If they are running for a political office in the United States or any country for that fact, and they were found to be investing their money in a company that deals with these kinds of other companies, like Corteva, they would have to drop out of the race immediately. Harry and Meghan were announced on Tuesday as investors in Ethic, which manages £950 million of people's money. It claims to help investors screen companies on criteria like racial justice, climate change, workplace standards, such as gender equality and fair pay. Oh, those are all the things that Meghan stands up for, her woke agenda. There you go. That's why she chose them, right? Ethics said, we allow clients to choose the environmental, social, and governance issues important to them, then help them create custom portfolios based on their preferences, not ours. Okay, so Ethic isn't pushing these pharma companies that are keeping the cystic fibrosis drugs away from the people who need them, and they aren't pushing their clients to invest in crude oil companies and all this other mess. No, they're just dealing with shady people who want to be involved in things like that. According to the Times, they also hope to be poster children for sustainable investing. Now we're talking about Harry and Meghan here. Harry and Meghan can make ESG, environmental, social, and governance, investing a part of pop culture in a way that says BlackRock's Larry Fink can't. From the world I come from, you don't talk about investing, right? Meghan told Dillbook in a joint interview with Harry. You don't have the luxury to invest. That sounds so fancy. What is she talking about? She didn't come from a poor family. Her dad was an Emmy winner for Married with Children, a lighting director. From the book I read by Lady C, he made pretty decent money. I'm sure he did have a few investments. He's retired now and he's in his late 50s, early 60s? He must have been doing something right with his cash. I'm sure he did have investments. That sounds so fancy. Oh, she's such a snob. I wish I could just slap her. Slap that nasty narcissistic look right off of her face. My husband has been saying for years, gosh, don't you wish there was a place where if your values were aligned like this, you could put your money to that same sort of thing, Meghan said. They were introduced to Ethic by friends, she said. Harry never said that. That sounds like a statement that would be way over Harry's head. He could never put that many words together and have them make sense unless somebody wrote it for him. And Meghan wrote those words. She came up with those. Harry and Meghan said they hoped that their involvement would help democratize investing, making people, especially younger people, more deliberate in their choices and conscious of investing in sustainable companies. One of my clients is calling me. Let me just turn that off. I'm on my lunch break. Sorry, dear. You already have the younger generation voting with their dollars and their pounds, you know, all over the world when it comes to brands they select and choose from. Harry said, suggesting it was a natural extension to do the same with investments. Okay, well, let's speak plainly now. Harry and Meghan are trying to characterize their agenda to get rich in the world of high finance as something intended for the public good, and it's complete nonsense. ESG investing in assets in an environmentally friendly, socially responsible way, is highly questionable and sometimes outright deceptive. As experts and operatives in the finance world have pointed out, the ESG label is unregulated and opaque. Funds can charge clients higher fees for assets that are, in fact, not doing ethical things they're supposed to be doing. For example, fossil fuel-free funds can fund fossil fuels in part because most people don't actually know what investments they're holding in their baskets of funds. And because ESG portfolios are guided by such a broad and inconsistent set of criteria, ranging from employee development to health and safety to supply chains, even ExxonMobil can be rated as a green investment by Premier ESG Rate. ExxonMobil is rated as a green investment by this company. That's how whacked up their thinking is. This is where Harry and Meghan are putting your money, UK taxpayers. There's a lot of greenwashing, of woke washing. A lot of washing within this category of ESG. A program officer in environment at the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation and the author of Sustainability at Work told Vox recently. In other words, investment funds can exploit the ESG label to charge higher fees, but benefit from the fact that they're largely held unaccountable for where investors' money is actually going. And while Harry may think these investments involve voting with one's dollars about company behavior, oh, he's been so excited for voting, he finally gets to vote on something. Oh, good for him. It doesn't take much to amuse him. Some experts say that's not actually what's happening. Lisa Sachs, who heads Columbia University's Center on Sustainable Investment, told me that an ESG fund does not change the problematic practices in our economy. It just allows an investor to build a portfolio that they're more comfortable with. That's fine, but what is concerning is leading millennials or any retail investors or anyone in the economy to believe that we can solve societal problems through ESG portfolios, she continued. These are problems that need policy solutions. The issue, she pointed out, is that when an ESG portfolio divests from any given company, another investor who will simply snap up those assets, excluding certain stocks from a portfolio, doesn't have any impact on the cost of doing business for that company. Sachs told me she wasn't previously familiar with Ethic, but based on a brief look at their website and publicly available materials, she said it did not appear that they offered a drastically different strategy in their approach to ESG funds than other investment firms. But perhaps on some level, this whole appraisal of ethical investing is taking Harry and Meghan too seriously. We can step back and look at this more simply. These are two intelligent... okay. At least one of them is intelligent, that would be Meghan, competent people who are extremely rich and unfathomably socially connected. They've spoken over and over and over again about elevating voices that aren't being heard and making the world more inclusive. But there's one clear reason they get into finance: to make money, and lots of it. They're dressing up this latest gig as something virtuous and socially conscious is a diversion. Their hope of cloaking their role as marketers for this firm as democratization, oh, that's a tongue twister, for a population that can barely even afford to save money for a minor emergency, let alone invest, is insulting to our intelligence. There are a million things this power couple could have chosen to do with their money, and they chose to make more money. Everybody, to summarize, from now on when you go to the gas station and you feel like you're paying too much for your gas, you can think of Ethic and thank Harry and Meghan for the money that they've invested that they think is going to ESG and green firms. But a green firm with Ethic is really ExxonMobil, and they're about as green as a 2-week dead plant, and that's black and rotting. Okay, and then every time you go to the pharmacy and you feel like you're overpaying for your medicines, or you can't get the medicines that you need for your cystic fibrosis or your diabetes, you can thank Ethic and Harry and Meghan for investing their money in Ethic. What a bunch of losers. Do you even think they realize that they're investing in such bad things, or they think that they're actually helping people? I don't know, these two are such morons, who knows? Maybe they actually believe that they're helping people, but they're actually making the world a worse place. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your Friday, everybody. Bye.